Hi, Milan. Welcome to Better Tech. Let's start off today's episode with your introduction and what you're doing, your job, and then we'll move to for our topic today.
Hi there, thanks for having me. So I'm the CEO and one of the founders at First AML. So we are streamlining the anti-money laundering KYC onboarding process, and we are operating in APAC and Europe and helping customers improve the way that they onboard their customers and meet the AML obligations.
Okay, nice. So let's dive right into our topic, which is revolutionizing the AML anti-money laundering onboarding processes. So we all know that financial industry landscape has been changing significantly in response to the evolving forces like customer expectations, regulatory environment, technology adoption, changing of faces of competition, and so on. So tell me, how are these financial institutions are adapting to these changes?
Well, many aren't adapting well, to be honest, and it's a slow process for many to change legacy systems that they have. But essentially, there's a wave of digitization happening across the financial services sector, and gone are the days where customers want to fill out or are prepared to fill out long application forms to become customers. They are after digital solutions. And we're focused on delivering digital solutions to our customers in the financial services industry. And at the core of this is, anti-money laundering and KYC requirements, identity verification. And so certainly, some financial institutions are now looking to digitize these processes.
Okay, great. So my next question to you is that this customer onboarding experience is undoubtedly a critical step in customers' journey. Regarding these financial institutions, what are some challenges associated with this onboarding process?
Well, there's a really large burden placed on financial institutions now with regulatory compliance. And at the core of this is anti-money laundering, but there's also other requirements around tax residency like CRS and FATCA. And essentially it creates a huge amount of information that needs to be collected about a customer in order to onboard them. And there are of course a lot of challenges associated with that. There's a large hurdle to become a customer to a financial institution, and it creates a lot of friction during that onboarding process.
Okay. And how do you think how can these financial institutions determine that technology could help to enhance the onboarding processes as part of their wider security program?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with talking to their customers and understanding the pain points that their customers are experiencing when onboarding. Essentially, my advice would be to map out your current processes and understand where there are points of friction, and understand where your customers are not enjoying the experience, and then essentially comparing that process to what can be offered by the likes of First AML as an alternative. And so that's where I would start. If I was a financial institution, I would talk to my customers and I would really get to the bottom of what's not working in my current process, and then look at new digital alternatives.
Great. And now I would like you to talk about your startup, First AML, and what are AML onboarding processes to keep our audience acquainted.
Yeah, so starting with AML onboarding processes, they are AML's anti-money laundering. This is a global regulation. It requires in essence, it requires the verification of the customer entity and understanding who are the beneficial owners associated with this entity. And it's very complex. And, especially when you're onboarding companies or corporations or trusts, AML onboarding becomes very, very onerous. And what we do at First AML is we deliver an end-to-end solution for customer onboarding in financial and professional services. So our technology enables our customers to onboard any type of entity, and we will deliver an end-to-end solution to our customers, very different to a lot of other players in the space who will provide point solutions for certain aspects of this process. We are unique in that we are delivering an end-to-end solution. And we are also very unique in that we are building an ecosystem whereby previous verifications can be retrieved and used in future transactions. And this is quite an important differentiator of our business, and it's actually quite a powerful network effect that we're generating.
Okay, talking about that, then talk about First AML's compliance process and what kind of challenges it caters to while onboarding the clients.
Yeah, again, our key point of difference is our ability to onboard any customer type. So many solutions out there will be great at onboarding a single consumer, but AML requires much more when you are onboarding a company or a trust or another type of complex entity. And a lot of these other solutions out there fail to provide assistance with these complex entities, and that's where we are really meeting that challenge.
Okay, what kind of complexities would you like to elaborate that?
Yeah, so when you're onboarding, say, a company, what happens is the AML rules require that all of the beneficial owners of this company go through identity verification. And so that requires digging through layers of ownership within this corporate structure. It requires someone to identify the people with effective control of this entity and the people who own above 25% of the entity. And so there's previously there's been a lot of human work that has to be conducted by the financial institution to understand who they're dealing with. And then they need to coordinate a process to verify the identity of quite a few people in some cases. And there's obviously a lot of complexity in this process I've just described. And our solution aims to automate this process.
Okay, great. That takes me to my next question, that how First AML is ensuring the security, or how clients can be assured that their sensitive information will remain safe and secure.
Yes, so we invest heavily in information security management. This is certainly one of the key aspects of our business and key focuses that we have. We have obtained ISO 27001 certification, which is sort of the global gold standard in information security management. And this is a huge undertaking to achieve this certification, but it is important to us because we want to be seen as a trusted platform, and we take these things very seriously. Okay,
so you already talked about it, that how First AML is differentiating itself, but I'd like you to talk a little more about it, that the kind of challenges these financial institutions are facing, and then the solutions First AML is providing, how is it differentiating?
Yeah, so I've touched on it a little bit earlier, but one aspect of the AML regime globally is that it creates a need for individuals and companies to prove their credentials every time they want to transact. And it creates a lot of work for everyone involved in the onboarding process. So an aspect of our business which is quite unique is that once you become verified with First AML in the first instance, with your consent, we can rely on that verification in the future, and we can facilitate the reuse of your KYC credentials the next time you transact. And so in this way, we are really helping expedite customers onboarding, because they don't need to dig up all of that documentation again it's already sitting within First AML, and we can facilitate the reuse of that information.
Great. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on FATF's roles and its progress in strengthening the measures to tackle money laundering and terrorist financing.
Did you, just to clarify, did you ask about FATF's role?
Yes, I did.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, FATF play a crucial role in this whole AML regime globally. Obviously, they are overseeing the regime, and they are conducting evaluations on each country periodically to determine, the adherence to these rules. And so they are an important part of this ecosystem to ensure that there is consistency globally. And they're also highlighting countries who are perhaps, behind their peers on the global stage, and perhaps should consider becoming more compliant with their global peers.
Okay, great. So moving towards our almost the last question, financial institutions need to ensure compliance with local and regional laws, as well as they need to ensure that customers have smooth onboarding experience, and all of this must also be financially feasible for them. These are their requirements. So how do you guys, how do First AML strike the right balance, as you say that you are cost effective? Your processes are cost effective.
Yeah, I mean, it's about working with a technology partner who specializes in this space, because we can onboard customers far more efficiently than trying to do it yourself with paper-based non-digital processes. So and further to that, we are specialists, so our compliance processes have been designed in accordance with laws and regulations. And so financial institutions can look to really, ensure they're compliant and ensure that they are taking advantage of digital tools when using a solution like First AML.
Okay. And lastly, your vision for First AML, or key takeaways you would like to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, our vision is to power the world's fastest and most trusted customer onboarding experiences. So we're all about how do we remove friction from customer onboarding? How do we make it fast and painless for everyone involved? And how do we do that with, with information security management, as a key priority? And so we are evolving our technology all the time, and we are just focused on making this the best way to onboard customers into financial and professional services.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Milan. It was great having you on Better Tech. I hope you did enjoy the experience.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.